I would love to be coming on here, Matt, and saying, "Oh, what a brilliant win last night! So and so was great." And do people think I travel over an hour to go to home games? Do people think I want to do that and watch this? Do people think I revel and other fans revel in being distraught and watching terrible football and having to critique it? I'd love to be talking about young players coming through or something to look forward to and something to build on. It's not nice to be constantly thinking you're being negative, but I defy anyone to tell me what's positive at the club at the moment, apart from the pitch that's holding up well. There's nothing. There's nothing positive. There's no youngsters breaking through. The football's dire. We're in a purgatory in terms of a takeover. And, that ground last night, I started going to Tranmere in, I think, 94. That's the worst attendance I've ever seen for a league game. To me, just from when the game started, it's got to be up there. In terms of a league game, I don't know what the official attendance is. I might be wrong, but it's certainly, I've never seen the ground look that empty for a league game. It was bad. And I think there's a big sense of apathy. I was one of the positive ones going into the game last night around, we'll be lucky if we get a draw, and I'm saying, but this is Morecambe at home. We should be getting a win here, trying to, definitely. And if I'm becoming one of the positive ones, then we are in up, but in terms of, Adkins after the match, fair enough. I thought he summed the game up very well. I have been critical of him. I do think he's been insulting in what he's been saying because I do think he's trying to sugarcoat a lot of stuff. But he was right in that last night was rubbish in the first half. Whether it was the worst since he's been here, I would debate because I think I've seen halves like that and performances like that all too frequently this season. But it was rubbish. And we were better in the second half. And I also thought it was interesting. He mentioned, Derek Jones put it to him about Patrick being dropped. And he said, well, he was dropped essentially because he was terrible in the game before. And he has sort of gone off the boil recently. And, he mentioned about Hawks coming in and taking his chance. Maybe he's been aware of the calls for him to start and things like that. So whether Adkins is getting more aware of the things that are being said out there, there was a lot of vitriol at half time. I think, if people want to do that, that's fine. It's not really what normally at half time and full time, full time, I sort of just get off back to the car and I don't stay. But it's not really, I've got no problem with people who want to do that. It's their prerogative, in my opinion. I know some people do. I think it's their choice. And I think you've got to understand this isn't just like a one-off season of frustration and a one-off game of, I'm going to let them know I'm unhappy with this game. This is years and years of frustration now coming to the boil. We've been a bad performing football club pretty much since Mickey Mellon left. We weren't great that season, but since he left, it's been one mistake, one shocking appointment, one terrible signing after another, and prices are going up, and the entertainment value and the quality is going down. So I don't know what people expect with that, but it was refreshing to see Adkins come out and basically say that was pitiful in the first half. And I do think players probably would have had their say at halftime. I'm thinking the likes of Finlay, the older, more experienced heads, and said, look, we're 1-0 down at home to bottom of the league here. Put pride. I asked for pride at halftime. Some pride in the shirt. Some pride in playing for Tranmere Rovers, And, okay, they did that second half because it at least showed desire and heart. That wasn't on evidence in the first half. So, yeah, I just think it highlights how bad we were if Adkins is using words like rubbish in the first half, which is something he never does. So, the bar couldn't have been any lower in the first half. So we were always going to get better because we couldn't possibly have been any worse. We did get better, thankfully. And it's a point at the end of the day. We needed all three. But I think Adkins' words were symptomatic, in my opinion, of just sort of the state of the club at the moment.